Welcome to Empowered by Iron, hosted by Dr. Kristen Lander from Fiercely Fueled Nutrition Coaching and Mary Morton from Grad Gains, the online resource for your fitness needs. Together, we are empowered by iron. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Empowered by Iron. Today we have a really exciting topic, I think, to discuss. I'm here with Kristen, of course, as per usual.
Hey guys. So our topic today is based on the quote, "Lions aren't worried about the opinions of sheep." So Mary, explain to our listeners why we love that quote.
Okay, so when we first read that quote 5 minutes ago, what came to our minds is that women who are empowered by iron are the lions, and the sheep are the people who surround our lives, who bring in not negativity, but who have opinions about the choices that we have made. For example, I'm sure a lot of our listeners, and us especially, we've heard the thing, well, don't get too bulky.
Right.
When you start lifting, the thing that people get really concerned about is like, well, I don't want you to turn manly and don't want you to get too many muscles. And, you know, if you are a woman who really, you know, falls under the need of opinions of others, or you really listen to those, that would really bother you.
Absolutely.
But I think as people, especially women who weightlift, we go, what are you talking about? These muscles can do things. These muscles are functional.
They can do amazing things.
They can do amazing things. And so, like, that quote really made us think about, like, okay, lions don't care about the opinions of sheep. Well, sheep are just noise, really, if you think about it. Wouldn't you think?
Definitely noise. There's a lot, whenever you do something, I think, that challenges the status quo, it makes people stop and wonder, and whether it's their own insecurities or like them wishing that they could not care what other people think. A lot of times they will insert their opinions into try to insert their opinions into your life, and it really doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what they think. It's because we do this for us. We don't do it to get anyone else's approval. And one thing that I think is really awesome about weightlifting, and I know it's happened to you, and it's happened to me, and it's happened to a ton of my other girlfriends, is once you start lifting heavy and gaining the confidence from weight training or weightlifting or powerlifting, whatever it is that you do, bodybuilding, the confidence that gives you in your abilities makes you no longer care what people think about what you look like physically or who you are on the inside, as long as you love yourself.
Yeah, I think it definitely comes back to a feeling of comfortability. If I could share with you some story time really quickly.
Please.
So the first time I really realized that I didn't care what other people thought came like shortly after I started weightlifting. So I would go into the gym, and when I finally made my way into the weight room, I had to learn these things, but I didn't have anyone there to teach me. So I'd watch videos or I'd read articles, and then you'd have to go try things. Mm-hmm. Well, anyone who's tried to learn a squat for the first time, there's no way that your squat's going to be perfect the first time.
It's probably going to look really horrible.
It's going to look awful. You're not going to hit depth. Your legs are not going to be wide enough, or they're too wide, or you're going to go too far forward, whatever. So when I first started, you know, I received a few comments about my form and the fact that I was a woman in the weightlifting, and at first it was really off-putting. But then I started to really realize that, you know, I like the way that my body feels after I weightlift. I like the way that I feel after I weightlift, and that I was going to keep doing this. And if those people there had something to say, it didn't matter, because I liked how I looked. I liked how I felt. And I liked lifting weights. And so it didn't matter to me if they cared anymore. In fact, I kind of felt sorry for them if they cared, because they're taking the time out of their day to tell me that I'm not doing good even though I'm bettering myself, you know?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Absolutely. That's a very powerful thing to suddenly realize that you don't really care anymore what people think.
Yeah, and you know, it carried over into a lot of my friendships too. I mean, in case anyone's wondering, I'm very much an introvert, but I do have a very close-knit few friends. And once I realized that I didn't care what other people thought, and that I became more and more confident in myself, I really started, not because of any other reason besides I was just very confident in myself, but people who brought in negativity into my life, I no longer needed them or wanted them around, because their opinions didn't matter. And if their opinions were opinions that brought me down, I just didn't need that anymore.
Yeah, once you start like working on yourself, so whatever that means, whether you're just trying to get stronger or trying to get better at something, whether it's in the gym or out of the gym or at home or at work, once you start really working on yourself, like you don't have space in your life for the people that have negative things to say about it.
No.
And that's a
so
really,
true.
really, really powerful thing.
Yeah. So like, Kristen, when did you have your like aha moments? That was kind of like my aha moment in the gym. Like, oh man, I just don't care what these sheep are saying. I'm a lion.
Yeah.
Do you have like a aha moment?
I think that I've had many, many aha moments. And I think that there's some gradual things that I noticed, like when I started squatting heavy. So my husband actually taught me to squat years and years and years ago, and he taught me powerlifting squats. This was kind of, I'm dating myself here, but this was kind of the before everything was on YouTube and you could look everything up on the internet. I mean, I'm not talking about the 90s here, but like there wasn't the information on the internet that there is now. So I had, we met actually in the weight room of our chiropractic school, and I know. Yes, very sweet. But so he was into lifting really heavy, and I basically like begged him to teach me to lift heavy, and he was pretty into powerlifting style weightlifting at the time, so that's what we did. And I remember when I got my first 200-pound squat, and I was like, holy cow, like I suddenly no longer care that I have some cellulite on my thighs because I just squatted 200 pounds. And that was really empowering for me. But most recently, like where I think all this culmination of like years of just doing stuff and not really caring what other people thought because I just was doing what was best for me. I really put all of that into practice when I made the switch from, so I did powerlifting style lifting and then I did CrossFit, but I still tried to do my squats as a powerlifter because that's what I want to do, and I didn't have very good mobility. So when I made the switch then to become an Olympic weightlifter, that has been the thing for me where I've had to say, okay, it really doesn't matter what people think, because I was really awful when I started. My mobility was terrible, and I had to go into the gym every day. And for those of you that know Olympic weightlifting, if you see anyone in your gym doing it, they can't hide in the corner and do it. I mean, we are in the corner doing it, but yeah, everyone knows it because it's loud and you're putting yourself out there. And I was really bad at it, and I had to every single day go in the gym and do something that I was bad at, and that really helped me go like, yeah, that really solidified for me. Like, I do not care if that guy over there thinks that I'm good at this or bad at this. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it for me.
It's a pretty humbling experience, right?
Very humbling.
I've noticed as a woman, especially, I call it the great ratio. Whenever you walk into a weightlifting room, I always like to count the number of males versus females. And there's always more men than women. But like it's just humbling because when and I hate to say it this way, but I'm gonna say it this way anyway. When guys first learn how to weightlift, they have their buddies, they have their friends, and it's okay if they mess up. I mean, they might joke around a little bit and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you shouldn't do it this way." But for women, it's almost like it's like a beacon. They're like watching you, like, "Oh, what is she doing in here?
Right.
She messed up. She fell." I remember when you're teaching me a little bit of Olympic lifts, and I fell on my butt so many times. And the first time I did it, I felt silly. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I just fell," and everyone looked at me. But then after that, I was like, you know what? This is pretty. This is like life. I mean, you're gonna fall, and you get to choose whether or not you get back up.
That's right.
And then if you care also what other people think, you probably won't get back up.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're going to pack your bag and go home.
Exactly. You're going to be done. And so, like, if you care what other people think, it will hold you back so much in life.
The quote that says, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. And it's kind of corny, but it is so true. I think about my life just even a few years ago. My life is almost unrecognizable. I'm still the same person, but I really have stopped caring about anyone else's opinion. And I'm willing to look like a fool. I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to look quote unquote stupid so that I can have the success that I want in my life, whether that's relationship or financial or work or weightlifting. All of that, I wouldn't have the life that I have if I cared.
I kind of thought of something that's awesome, something kind of similar as you were saying that. But it's like those people in high school or in college that you knew, and you meet them, 5 years later, and you're like, dear Lord, you are the same person. You haven't changed. You're still worried about what other people think. You're still worried about fitting in. You're still worried about all those things in high school.
Yeah.
Whereas I look back even a year in my life, a whole year, 6 months even, and I don't even recognize that person because I think through weightlifting, through not caring about what people think, I've just been able to just excel in figuring out who I am because I'm not worried if who I am clashes with someone else. I'm not worried that if they don't like who I am, my life is over, because it's not. I like me. It doesn't matter if other people like me.
Right.
I mean, I would like that some of them do because it's kind of nice to have friends. But for the most part, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I like me. I'm happy with me. And if I want to change anything about me, it's for me.
That's wonderful. That's what we're all about. That's
exactly
what being empowered by iron is all about, is being you and saying, forget everyone who's not supportive of your mission.
Absolutely. And you guys who are listening, like, we love hearing your stories. So if any of you are having like a aha moment or that sounds like me, we would absolutely love to hear from you. You can leave us a comment on our website, empoweredbyiron.com. You can even shoot us an email, empoweredbyiron@gmail.com. We would love to hear your stories because this isn't just about hearing our stories. This is about us building a community, and the more we get from you guys, the more we can really build this community.
Absolutely. We want to be a voice for everyone that is just out there grinding and
absolutely
training and challenging societal norms through weightlifting.
That's how Kristen and I met. We're just two weirdos lifting in the gym, throwing things around, and we know there's other weirdos out there in the gym just throwing things around.
So on the tune of sharing stories, I was just actually, while I was at the gym, I was texting with a good friend of mine, and I was telling her we're going to be recording this podcast, and she said, "Oh, what's it about?" And I was telling her, and she said, "Oh my gosh, like that she's been weightlifting and doing CrossFit for years, and she still, even to this day, like, gets a lot of comments about her body from people. And someone at her gym, at her CrossFit gym, said to her, like, oh, I don't want to look like you. I think that you're too muscular or gross or something to that effect. And it's, like, absolutely shocking because she's an amazing athlete. And number one, this person is, like, doing the same stuff that she's doing. And
all that matters is looks, right?
Yeah, it's just shocking that someone within her own gym would say, I don't want to look like you, you look gross, when this woman is incredibly strong and a very gifted athlete, and to think that, like, all that matters is her looks is insane to me.
I feel like that's a whole nother podcast about
Yes.
women and looks and how that's all we're good for, but we'll save that for another time.
Yes.
Well, like, so I had a similar experience to your friend. It was actually quite recently. So I was helping one of my other friends cut, and she was not happy with her body. So we kind of figured out her things, and we were getting her down to a certain size. And one of my other friends noticed that she was getting small, or I don't want to say small, but she was leaning out.
Uh-huh.
She's very muscular.
Okay.
And so that friend came to me, and she goes, "Hey, can you help me, lose some weight?" And I was like, "Oh, absolutely. Like, I can help you with anything. Like, what do you need?" She goes, "Well, I don't want to look, like, muscular like you, because you're kind of beefy." And I was so upset.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I was super happy with my body. I battled with an eating disorder for, like, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
And so I was finally like, this is my body and I love it. And to hear that from someone who was my friend, I say was, because was my friend. Like, I was amazed. You should be supportive of your friends. And I mean, if I was morbidly obese, I would hope that someone would help me.
Sure.
But I'm just muscular.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with
There's
your body.
nothing wrong
And
with
you're
it.
incredibly strong.
I'm very strong. I could probably pick her up and throw her across the room, but I didn't because I have self-control.
That story is, I guess we all have stories like that. When I lift as a 69 kilo weightlifter, but decided for some crazy reason, because I'm in between 63 and 69, decided I'm going to cut to 63 for Masters Nationals, because I'll be better there, stronger, whatever. So I did. I cut. I made it. I cut to 63 kilos. I leaned out quite a bit. It was a really long process too, because I was training really hard. So I was like putting on muscle, and never in my life have I ever cared about, like, what my weight really was, except then when I think I had like 5 pounds to lose, and I was just putting on muscle because I was training so hard and losing fat, but the scale was not moving. So it took a really long time. And so I kept getting leaner and leaner and leaner. And while this happened, I started getting so many comments about my body from other people. Like, I've never had these sorts of comments. Like, I was not overweight by any means, but I guess, like, I wasn't super lean.
You just weren't ready for the comments. It's like,
right.
Did I ask?
Right. So as I was leaning out, people kept saying, like, "Oh my gosh, you're so strong," and all this stuff. And, like, I'm looking at them like, I'm the same strength I was 4 months ago. Okay, maybe a little bit stronger in some areas. Like, I think I put a couple kilos on my total, but, like, honestly, I was really struggling in the gym because of the cut, and trying to maintain my strength. So people suddenly thought, like, all of a sudden I had all this credibility as a weightlifter because I was lean. Yeah. And I was like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. This is what my body looks like has nothing to do with my ability.
Absolutely.
And it was really eye-opening to me. And one last thing about all of that, and I'm sure you ladies who are listening have heard this, is guys in the gym started saying, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna mess with you," like, as if, like, I could kick their ass or something. And I'm thinking, like, I mean, I just lift shit over my head. Like, that has nothing to do with me punching you out. Like, I mean, I could try if you want me to, but I'm really a nonviolent person.
I don't like that. That's not my thing.
So it was just, it's very surprising the comments that are made, and I don't ever hear these sorts of comments made to men.
No, it's just like the other day when we were lifting, and a very nice gentleman came up, and I think he meant the best of this, but it was kind of a backhanded compliment, where he said something along the lines of, I better finish my set before you get started and make me look weak or make me look bad. And to me, that was him saying, well, I don't want a woman to be stronger than me, which, whatever, dude, I'm stronger than you. But, like,
right.
it's those comments that you don't really get from men don't give to men, or
yeah,
they're aggravating.
Yeah.
Aggravating.
Yeah, it's okay for us to be stronger than men.
It's totally fine.
It's wonderful.
I'm stronger than my boyfriend. And that's fine.
So if anything we want you guys to take home from this podcast from this episode is do not be concerned with other people's opinion of you.
Don't be concerned with sheep.
That's right.
You are a lion.
That's right. You're a lion, and do your thing, and don't be concerned if anyone thinks that what you're doing is wrong or bad.
As long as you're happy, doesn't matter. Check out our website at www.empoweredbyiron.com. You can find Kristen on Instagram at Kristen Lander, and I am MaryMo_92. And you can check out Kristen's website for her nutrition coaching at www.fiercelyfuelednutrition.com or
fiercelyfueled.com.
Yes. And my website, which is gradgains.com. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Peace out. If you like what you heard today, please help us connect with other female badasses. We would love if you would leave us a review on iTunes, tell your friends about us, visit our website, which is empoweredbyiron.com. You can find each of us on Instagram. Mary is at MaryMo_92, and Kristen is at Kristen with an I, Lander. Future topics will include nutrition, programming and training, mental health, and just general female badassery.
Yeah, so let us know what you want to hear. If you have any input, that'd be awesome. And guys, this is Empowered by Iron. We want it to be a resource and an outlet for women who are finding their confidence, their independence, and their strength through iron. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking in. And until next time, I'm Mary.
I'm Kristen.
And this is Empowered by Iron.